Okay, and welcome back. In this one, we're going to have a look at our operating system. Windows is a fairly standard operating system. Some people, if you're using a Mac, use the iOS. That appears on your iPhones and things like that. But Windows is a fairly popular operating system, and an operating system is effectively the software, because it is software, it's not hardware. The Windows is a software that provides an interface between you and the machine. What you don't want to be doing is actually talking in machine language. You want it to look as close to our spoken language as possible, which means we've got icons here, and we've got text that help us know what we're trying to do, rather than dealing in electrical impulses, ones and noughts and so forth. So what is our operating system? What version of Windows have we got, and how do we find it? Well, I'm in settings again. I'm going to head into system. There we go. And I'm going down to about here, and then I'm hoping that somewhere in here it will tell me what version of Windows I'm using. There it comes. Okay, so I've got to about. I'm going to drift down here. I've got my Windows special, so I've got Windows 10 Pro. It's pretty good. Version 1803. The question is that up to date? I'm going to look at that in a minute. It was installed September 2019. The build number is there, and this is a serial number. The useful thing about this is if you want to upgrade your products and so forth, sometimes you're asked some questions about this, what build, if you need support, because perhaps some of the drivers aren't working for your printer, and people ask you what is the build of your Windows, or what version are you using. This is where you find the answer to those questions. We found that I had a license to it for the product, because it says product IDs up here. One thing we want to do is perhaps think about updates. Is my system up to date? Well, we don't know. Let's have a look. Update and security. I've headed into Windows Update, and this will tell me whether it's up to date or not. It's a fairly straightforward activity. The update should appear in a moment, and it's very important to keep your machine up to date. That's the thing that will keep there we are, you running and secure as well. So now it's checking for updates. So I've got Windows Update, checking for Windows. Your version of Windows has reached end of service. I recommend you update to the most recent version of Windows. There we are. So as you can see, I haven't on this particular machine been keeping myself up to date, so it is going to take a little bit of time for me to get from whatever it was, 1808 to probably 1903, and install all those updates. As you can see, it's checking for the updates now, and I'll probably go a little while sorting this machine out. Deliberately left it like that so that we can see what happens when it checks for updates. There we are. Can you see all those updates? Yeah, it's reached of end of service, and so 1903 is the next version, and what it's going to do is it's going to start downloading those, and then it'll need a restart and probably a few more restarts. So this machine is actually ready for a really good update. So keep checking back and make sure that you've got your updates for whatever operating system you're using, and that they're actually working. Okay, so there you go. Get them all installed where necessary.